My name is Olivia and I attend the Alabama School of Fine Arts. I traveled with EF Tours to New York 3 years ago, and even though it is not out of the country, I still got to see numerous different cultures that I wasn't even aware existed in the United States. I've wanted to get out more and experience culture even more so. I love being educated academically, and I feel that my love for culture develops from that, but I feel like my class for physical education is lacking. My innovative idea is equalizing physical education for all students. When I was in 3rd grade, I beat everyone in my grade at the push-up fitness testing in my gym class. I remember in elementary school when gym class was still co-ed, schools expected just as much physical effort and ability out of girls as were expected from boys. Boys and girls did the same activities, did the same physical exertion, and were put through the same physical test, and the same result was expected from both gender. I remember back then, I scored the highest result in the sit-up, push-up, and pull-up test. I scored the highest out of all of the girls and all of the boys. And I'm a girl. I proved that girls can be just as physically in shape and strong as boys can. Girls can amount to anything guys can if they put their minds to it. But that is where the problem lies. In kindergarten through 5th grade, girls were pushed and encouraged to be just as fit and strong as boys were. But I've realized that as I've gotten older, girls are being less and less expected out of. When I reached 6th grade, boys and girls gym classes were separated, as well as physical requirements. I remember watching the boys' class having to do sports, warm-ups, conditioning, running laps. Meanwhile, in girls' gym, we played less physical games such as foursquare, just walking around the track, and more likely than not, girls had the option to just sit out all period. Boys were also offered more after-school sports than girls were. Naturally, all the girls' physical test scores were much lower than the guys'. First, we should require all kids physical education for an equal amount of time every day and an equal number of years in school. Then, girls' PE needs to be much more intense. Physical education should push girls to the extent of their physical abilities. Only then will girls get the results they deserve. This goal will require all the same thing male PE enforces. If we encourage this, not only will it give girls endurance and physical strength, but strengthen their pride as well. Many girls lose confidence in themselves and pride in their bodies when they reach the teenage years. This usually leads to insecurity. By intensifying gym, this will help girls have more confidence in themselves, which will help them be more prideful in going into the real world, which is important. Now you must ask yourself the question, how does this apply to the overall definition of human rights? The answer is simple. Human rights is defined as rights inherent to all human beings. If this is the case, that will mean that all people and all kids should get the same opportunities in life despite gender, race, religion, and sexuality. But it seems like the same problem is repeated all over the world except with even harsher consequences. Nearly in all countries, women are inferior. Whether it's being paid less, arranged marriage, or even being sold as sex slaves, this has to end. All men, all women, all people. I now attend the Alabama School of Fine Arts, which is the home to a very diverse community. Many students here are 1st and 2nd generation immigrants from all over the world, all of varying religion, gender, sexuality, and language. I go to probably the most diverse school in the state of Alabama, but one of the most intriguing things about my school is how gender roles are almost non-existent. There are no expectations set relying on gender, which leads us to the definition of a global citizen.
A global citizen is someone who realizes that they are a part of what this next world is going to be like,
and that their actions control what's going to happen.
A global citizen is someone who's aware of what they're doing now
and molds their future.
I'm a global citizen.
Как глобальный член